Why watch Arc 5? Huh, because I have a pulse. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another Yu-Gi-Oh discussion, and this one is going to be a question that I had gotten asked a few times on Twitter, and I wanted to address this specifically to those people, but for some people they haven't discovered what is Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, because they need to know. This is going to be basically the top 6 reasons why me, as a watcher of anime, are telling you, hey, Arc 5 is a to watch list. I recommend it. Go watch it. Okay, so number 6 is the number 6 reason to go and watch Arc 5 is they've reworked the Yu-Gi-Oh formula. If you guys remember, in the original 3 generations, we went and did time travel. Like Yusei would travel back to GX, Jaden would travel back to Duel Monsters, and vice versa. We got the whole time travel, angle with it. And in Duel Monsters, we had a Tim going from, into the present day, back 5,000 years to ancient Egypt, and then back again. We had the whole time travel angle for the first 3. And then they backed off the time travel and left it stagnant in Zexal, and we don't talk about Zexal, so I'm not going into that. But I feel about Zexal the same way I feel about Black and White, everybody, in case you could not tell. But anyway, now in Arc 5, we're not doing the time travel, and it's not a stagnant series. We're using the dimension angle. We're traveling through dimensions, not time. And that actually plays into the 20th anniversary movie of Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions. I don't know why I couldn't remember that right off the top of my head, but irregardless, Dark Side of Dimensions looks awesome too, by the way. I can't wait for that to come out stateside, and then I can't wait to find it in the raw version, but that movie just looks awesome. Anyway, so we're doing the whole dimension traveling angle, and that was actually a great way to incorporate all these generations of Yu-Gi-Oh! With the exception of Duel Monsters, which I do feel that we're going to get a connection to Duel Monsters here before too long. It was just a great way to bring in all these generations and bring back all these viewers that hadn't watched Yu-Gi-Oh! In years. I mean, you had the GX people come back because they found out that the Duel Academy from GX was going to be the main antagonists of the anime. We had people returning because they found out that Alexis was coming back, that the whole concept of Duel Academy and everything else was coming back. So we had the GX people return for that. Then we had the people from 5Ds return when we found out that the new Domino City was going to be the Synchro Dimension, and that we were going to see Crow and Jack Atlas and Synchro Summoning and all that stuff coming back into the fold. Then we had all the Zexal people come back, who left during Zexal because it was Zexal. It came back when they found out that Kaito was coming back, that we were going to the X-Shis Dimension that was based on Zexal. So this anime has been a great way to bring back all the viewers to watch, because they're catering to all the fans, with the exception of Duel Monsters. But like I said, we're going to probably most likely get a reference to Duel Monsters soon in Arc 5. So it's just a great way to bring back in all these fans that had left the franchise for whatever reason. Okay, number 5 on the list of reasons why to go watch Arc 5, Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. The duels, pendulum summoning, and action fields, to be more specific. Pendulum summoning is a very cool strategy to use in Arc 5, and it fits Yuya's character to a T. In fact, he was the creator of pendulum summoning in this franchise. But it also has some real-world applications with the card game, because in the local Yu-Gi-Oh! League that I play in, I'll go and play, and some of the hardest decks that even some of the best duelists in the area that I know have trouble with pendulum decks. I'm doing okay with mine, but pendulum decks are hard, even in the regular card game, just because they have so many functions, and that some of these great duelists are still, trying to figure out how to make the most out of a pendulum deck. So, pendulum summoning is really, really good angle to come into, and it's also the newest summoning method to give us another tool to use. But then the action fields, and the action fields were a great concept because it's no longer the whole stand in one place, duel against your opponent and win, or ride around on, a dual runner and, fight your opponent and win. The action field means that you as the duelist, so people like Yuzu, Gong, Declan, all these other guys, or Akaba Reiji, the professor, everybody else, no matter what version you watch. I watch the sub. I'm not a big fan of the dub, but the dub names are easier to remember. I don't know why. But anyway, you actually have to get out there and work in order to win the duel. I mean, you have to use the action field to the fullest extent, and they do add twists and turns and a bit of unpredictability to the duels, because you never know what action card they're going to pick up and what they're going to be able to do with it. Okay, number 4 on the list of reasons why you should go and watch Arc 5 and why I recommend it. Academia's plan and its true sinister motives. Now, right now, all we know about Academia's plan, aka Revival Zero, is that the professor wants to unite all the dimensions under one rule, his rule. And that's about it. We don't know, the specifics, and this plan is really sinister. I mean, you had soldiers from Duel Academy carding innocent civilians in the Xyz dimension who weren't even duelists. Like, we don't care. We need your energy, and they card them anyway, even if they don't put up a fight. And then you have them destroying cities and killing people, and, it's just, their plans are really sinister, and it's vague, and it's great because even 124 episodes in, we're still trying to figure out what exactly the full version of Academia's plan is, because right now we're just getting bits and pieces. We know that Yuya and his counterparts, Yuto, and Yuri, and Yuzu and her counterparts, Serena, Ren, and Ruri, all have a role to play in this plan. We just don't know what their plan or what their roles specifically are. And then we have this whole thing about, Yuya, and that goes on a little further in the list. So, Academia's plan. This is one of the better drawn out story arcs in the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise. Number 3, and you guys may know me as an Amore shipper from Pokemon. But what you may not also know, unless you follow me on Twitter over these last few days, and again, the only reason I'm going this angle is because I'm running out of, the 2-week drought of episodes has been hard on me to find things for Twitter. But fruit shipping, which is the pairing of Yuzu and Yuya. And they do show feelings towards each other. But then you also got their different dimensional counterparts, like with the synchro counterparts, Yugo and Rin, it's the complete opposite. Like, Yugo is the one going after Rin, and Ren's the one, smacking him down. And it's kind of the other way around with Yuzu and Yuya, at least for the first part of the series. They have grown closer as we've gone on. But it's just, the similarities to Amore shipping is there, and I'm just like, maybe that's why I like fruit shipping so much, but I don't know. I really do think that, in my personal opinion, Yuya and Yuzu make a good couple. But, and no, I'm not saying that at threat of getting smacked by a fan, and you'd have to watch the series to get that reference. But, okay, fruit shipping aside, the number 2 reason why I recommend Arc 5 is nostalgia. Like I said before, we had the dimensions angle, so we got all the incorporations of all the generations with except dual monsters. And like I said, I really do think that point's going to come before too long. But something that I've noticed going on in this series, Yuya and Yuto, Yuya and his Xyz dimension counterpart, they bear a striking mirror image to dual monsters in the fact that it's one person that's, it's Yuya's in control, kind of like Yugi is, but there's another Yuya, just like there was another Yugi inside. because Yuto is living in Yuya's heart, kind of like a Tim lived in Yugi's heart. Only this time, Yuya doesn't need a 5,000-year-old artifact to make that happen. Yuto can just take over whenever he wants. And I think that was a really nice play on. It didn't quite copy Yugi and a Tim, but it was a nice subtle reminder that they haven't forgotten their roots. And the fact that they used the Yuya and another Yuya, similar to the way they used Yugi and another Yugi, I think that's really very interesting. And they both have two completely different dueling styles. In Duel Monsters, Tim was very aggressive and straightforward. He didn't throw any punches. And Yugi was a bit more cautious, and he took his time. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to play it safe. He didn't charge right in like a Tim did. So, they're two different personalities living in the same body and dueling in two very different styles, very similar to Duel Monsters. So nostalgia plays a big role in Arc 5 too for me. Also, and this is still on the nostalgia topic, Berserker mode for Yuya. Where he's surrounded by shadows and his eyes glow red and he's gone, totally evil. That plays back to the Duel Monsters a little bit too, with the inner darkness concept, to where we all have inner darkness, and until you conquer the darkness, you can't truly win, or you can't truly do what you need to do. So the whole inner darkness angle with Berserker mode Yuya is very reminiscent to Duel Monsters as well. Very, very similar to a Tim and his inner darkness during the Darks arc. So the similarities between Yuya and Yugi are just, they're there. They're unmistakable that they're there. But yeah, so Duel Monsters does show up every now and again. You have to look at it from a very different angle, but it does show up. And I think we're going to get a big connection to Duel Monsters here before too long. In fact, if you guys watched my first Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 theory, I actually theorized that the Egyptian gods are going to play a role in Academia's plan. But, that still remains to be seen. I really do think that might be an angle they go with. Okay, the top reason why I recommend Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 to everybody is the way its story is written. I mean, and this is what I mean by this. They have an ability to blend essentially 8 different characters, the 4 Yuya counterparts and the 4 Yuzu counterparts. They're all these different stories, all these different backgrounds. They've managed to be able to mingle 8 different stories together and make it work without consistently stepping on each other's stories. And we get development for each of those stories. Like, it's not, okay, Yuya and Yuzu are the 2 main ones, we're only going to focus on them. No, they actually take episodes to focus on Yugo and Rin. They actually take episodes to focus on Ruri and Yuto. Ruri and Yuto. They haven't taken the time for Serena and Yuri yet, but I think that might be coming here before too long as well. But, this latest episode of Arc 5, they did show a little bit of that. So, they do have a way of taking these 8 different stories and melding them together and writing it in a way that it doesn't seem overpowering from one side or another. So anyway, everybody, those are my top 6 reasons why, if you talk to me on the street, I will recommend Arc 5 to you. In the comments down below, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys watch Arc 5 for any of these reasons? Do you think these reasons are really good? Did I convince you to maybe go check out the next nearest anime site and download a couple episodes of Arc 5 in the sub version first? That's what I would recommend ideally. And, just kind of get the feel for it. Just let me know in the comments what you guys think in general, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. Alright, everybody, that's it for this Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion. As always, everybody, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you all soon. Goodbye, everybody.